Inviting people into your home sounds simple. You open the door, you offer them a drink. But the way people welcome guests changes dramatically depending on social class. For some families, a guest means adding another chair to the table. For others, it means hiring someone to make the house look like nobody has ever lived there. And for the truly wealthy, guests do not arrive at the house. They arrive at the property. Because nothing reveals your social class faster than what happens when someone says, "Can we come over?" When money is tight, invitations are direct. Come over Saturday. No digital invitation, no dress code. No 7-paragraph message explaining the parking situation. You arrive when you arrive, and dinner happens whenever enough people become hungry. The working class invitation comes with practical information. Come around 6. Bring whatever you drink. Don't park in front of number 12 because Gary becomes legally insane after sunset. The middle class sends a group message 3 weeks in advance. There is a poll. There are 4 possible dates. Everyone votes. Nobody is available on the date that wins. So the event is moved to a 5th date that was never included in the poll. Upper middle class invitations try very hard to appear casual. We're just having a few people over. This means 12 guests, professionally arranged flowers, and enough food to support a small diplomatic summit. New Money sends an invitation designed by someone. There is a theme. There is a location pin. There may be a photographer. The event is described as intimate, even though the house now contains a temporary cocktail bar and a man playing the saxophone beside the swimming pool. Old Money does not invite you directly. Someone called Caroline asks whether you are free for supper. You say yes. Then discover that supper is happening in another county. When guests are coming to a low-budget home, the cleaning strategy is simple. Move everything into one room. Close the door. That room no longer exists. The working class begins cleaning at 8 a.m. Floors are vacuumed. Surfaces are polished. Children are threatened with consequences usually reserved for international criminals. And every towel in the bathroom is replaced with a decorative towel nobody is legally allowed to touch. The middle class cleans the house that was already clean. The cushions are adjusted, then readjusted. Then adjusted again until the sofa looks less like furniture and more like a military parade. Anything remotely personal is hidden. Mail, chargers, medication, evidence that actual humans live there. Upper middle class preparation involves buying things specifically to look like they were already owned. A new candle, a new serving board, a new book placed carefully on the coffee table despite nobody in the family knowing what it is about. New Money hires cleaners, a florist, and possibly a lighting technician. The house must not simply be clean. It must look ready to be photographed for a magazine called Homes Owned by People Who Want You to Ask What They Do for a Living. Old Money changes almost nothing. The carpet is older than several modern countries. One chair has been broken since 1987. Nobody replaces it because apparently the damage has character. In a low-budget home, the door may already be open. You walk in, someone shouts from another room, "Take your shoes off if they're dirty." This is the entire welcoming ceremony. The working class opens the door before you knock because they have been watching through the window for the last 4 minutes. You are greeted loudly. Your coat is taken. You are offered food before your body has fully entered the building. The middle class performs the doorway exchange. Hi. Hi, you found it? Yes, traffic okay? Yes, good. Nobody knows why this conversation is mandatory, but civilization would collapse without it. Upper middle class hosts greet you while holding a glass of wine they poured 7 minutes earlier to look relaxed. They are not relaxed. They have checked the oven temperature 9 times since you parked. New Money arranges for the front door to open dramatically. You enter through a hallway large enough to experience weather. The host appears at the top of a staircase wearing something that says, "I did not dress like this for you. They absolutely dressed like this for you." Old Money guests are welcomed by a dog, then another dog, then someone who may work there. The actual host appears 20 minutes later and says, "Oh, you're here," as if you materialized unexpectedly inside their ancestral home. When money is tight, the drink options are honest. Tea, coffee, water, possibly 1 bottle of soda that was already opened before you arrived. Nobody pretends the selection is a lifestyle. The working class has prepared for every possible guest: beer, wine, soft drinks, juice, tea, coffee, and 1 mysterious bottle purchased for an uncle who visited in 2019. The middle class asks, "What can I get you?" Then lists 17 options: sparkling water, still water, filtered water, water with lemon, water without lemon, coffee made using a machine that requires more training than commercial aviation. Upper middle class guests are offered natural wine. Nobody knows whether it tastes good. That is not the point. It tastes interesting. New Money offers champagne immediately, even if the event is a Tuesday lunch. The bottle is displayed at exactly the right angle so everyone can identify the label. Old Money pours something brown from an unlabeled bottle. You ask what it is. They reply, "Oh, it's been here forever." This does not answer the question. In a low-budget home, food is generous because quantities matter more than presentation. The table contains enough carbohydrates to make standing difficult. Nobody leaves hungry. Some people may leave needing medical assistance. The working class cooks for twice the number of invited guests. Because what if someone wants seconds? What if someone wants thirds? What if society collapses during dessert? The middle class has planned the menu around dietary requirements. One guest is vegetarian. One is gluten-free. One avoids dairy. One has recently decided that onions are inflammatory. By the end, the host has created 7 separate meals and quietly hates everyone. Upper middle class food is arranged on wooden boards. Cheese is no longer placed on a plate. It is curated. There are small bowls containing substances nobody recognizes, but everyone praises. New money hires a private chef and repeatedly explains that the chef once cooked for a celebrity. The celebrity may have eaten one canapé at a charity event. This is enough. Old money serves a roast prepared using a family recipe. The recipe has not changed since 1840. Neither has the seasoning. Lower-income families rarely offer a formal tour. You will eventually see the whole home because someone needs help finding a charger. The working-class tour focuses on improvements. We did this wall ourselves. Changed the flooring, built that shelf. You must express appropriate admiration or the evening cannot continue. The middle-class house tour pretends not to be a house tour. You can put your coat upstairs. Suddenly, you are being shown the renovated bathroom, then the home office, then the little reading corner where nobody has ever read anything. Upper middle-class hosts apologize for every room. Sorry, it's still a work in progress. The room contains custom shelves, imported tiles, and a chair that costs more than your first car. New money does not wait for you to ask. The tour begins immediately. Kitchen, cinema room, gym. Wine cellar, a bathroom reserved entirely for guests who need to understand how expensive the bathroom is. Old money actively prevents you from seeing parts of the house. That wing is freezing. The stairs are unsafe. Don't open that door. At some point, the visit becomes less like dinner and more like the opening scene of a British murder mystery. In modest homes, conversation is loud, direct, and overlaps, constantly. 3 people speak at once. Someone tells a story everyone has heard before. An argument begins over a fact that could be checked in 12 seconds, but nobody checks because shouting is more satisfying. Working-class conversation eventually reaches work, local gossip, and the behavior of a neighbor everybody agrees is strange. The middle class discusses house prices, schools, holidays, and whether the local restaurant has gone downhill. Nobody admits how much they earn. Instead, they exchange clues like financial detectives. Upper middle-class guests discuss podcasts, wellness, and a country they visited before it became popular. New money talks openly about money while pretending not to. The car was actually a business expense. The renovation basically paid for itself. The watch was an investment. Old money discusses people by surname only. You do not know who any of these people are, but apparently one of them behaved disgracefully at a wedding in 1996, and forgiveness remains impossible. In a low-budget home, nobody formally ends the evening. People gradually disappear. One person falls asleep. Another leaves with a plate of leftovers. Eventually, the host realizes only relatives remain. The working-class host says, "Right, one last drink." This phrase is repeated 4 times. The middle-class host begins clearing glasses aggressively. Lights are turned on. The dishwasher opens. The host says, "Well, you've got a busy day tomorrow." You do not, but apparently you do now. Upper middle-class hosts offer herbal tea. This is not hospitality. It is an eviction notice served in a ceramic cup. New money does not end the party. The entertainment ends it. The saxophone player leaves. The lights change. Someone quietly removes the champagne. Old money guests stay overnight because returning home after dinner is considered unnecessarily modern. A bedroom has already been prepared. The sheets are cold. The hallway contains portraits of people who seem disappointed that you are alive. But no matter the social class, every host wants exactly the same thing: for the guests to arrive, compliment the house, enjoy the food, stay long enough to prove the evening was successful, and then leave approximately 45 minutes earlier than they actually do. Because hospitality is the art of spending an entire day preparing for people you love, then feeling an almost spiritual sense of relief when their car finally disappears. And the second the door closes, every social class performs the same sacred ritual. Shoes off, trousers loosened, leftovers inspected, and one simple question: did you notice how much they drank?